During those times when we're feeling a bit lost in life, it can be a real struggle to find our sense of meaning in it or a sense of purpose. So, today I'm going to show you how making art, something that can seem frivolous or maybe even too fun, how's that going to help? How making art can help you navigate these difficult transitions and passages of life as you recover your sense of purpose along the way and maybe even passion. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Lisa Sonora, and this channel is all about using your creativity for your personal and spiritual growth. During this conversation, I'm going to share with you the pages of some of my visual journals. Visual journaling, it happens inside of a blank sketchbook or any type of blank notebook that you may have. I'm going to show you several examples. But visual journaling is a really powerful tool that you can use. You don't have to be an artist. You don't have to have any technique. The reason why I recommend everyone keep a visual journal is that it combines word, that's the journaling part, but it also combines image. There's this sentence that I read from Carl Jung of Jungian psychology. Carl Jung also kept visual journals, by the way, but there's this wonderful phrase from him that goes, "The soul speaks in image." The soul speaks in image. And that's a phrase that when I read it or saw it, I can't remember exactly where, I thought that really encapsulates what we're doing in a visual journal. We are kind of plumbing our own depths through using image and word. What makes keeping a journal so easy is that it's very portable. It happens in a book, any size book you want. It can be really tiny. It can be a larger sketchbook. But a book is something you can close when you're done working in it and put away right on your bookshelf with your other books. So it's really easy to keep your visual journal private. It's not like you are working on canvases and showing them to people. It's funny, I'm sitting here in front of one of the gallery walls in my house. The flower painting is someone else's, but the rest of these pieces are mine. I'm getting ready for a home studio show. But what I love about keeping sketchbooks is they're totally private. They're not hanging on a wall. Another thing that's really great about keeping a visual journal is that it is focused on the process of creating. So you get to try out a whole bunch of things. You get to experiment. No one's watching. Remember the privacy part. But you're focusing on the process of exploration through writing and through image, and not focused on the technique, like how to master a perfect drawing. The visual journal is a place to play and experiment without having to get bogged down with really fancy art materials or techniques. And another reason why visual journaling is so helpful and effective is because it is portable and accessible. You can take the sketchbook with you anywhere. And the materials are really simple. All you need is a notebook or a blank book and something to write with. It could be a pen, a pencil, a crayon, something to write with, something to draw with. And you can always add on other types of visual journaling art materials later once you get started. But the basic supplies are just a sketchbook and a pen or pencil. Okay, let's dive into finding your purpose through art. We're not going to figure out your entire life purpose in this short video. Wouldn't that be magical and wonderful? I want to give you 3 T's, the letter T, 3 words that start with T that can help you structure your explorations using a visual journal and finding your purpose. The first T has to do with time. You want to condense the time frame. So instead of trying to figure out your entire life's purpose, the span of your lifetime, you want to chunk that time down into a shorter segment. So for example, if you're moving Maybe you're downsizing. You can compress that period of time into the time it takes to pack up your house or figure out what you're letting go of, or the process of moving and finding your new home. Or maybe this is the year you have a child going off to college or starting kindergarten, depending on where you're at. This is a transition. I'll go back to transition in a second. The other T is topic. So you want to pick a topic. We're not trying to figure out a life purpose for your entire scope of life in all the different categories: work, career, relationships, health, school. You want to narrow down your exploration into one topic area. In other words, we're not trying to fix all of the things or trying to find the purpose for all of the things right now. So you could keep a visual journal about a particular topic. It might be a trip you're taking. Maybe you're getting married or becoming a mother for the first time. A lot of times people keep baby books or memory books, but you could keep a very private visual journal about that topic of what becoming a mother means to you. Some of these topics could include changing your job, moving house, embarking on a new course of therapy that you're doing. Maybe you are partaking of therapy, or you're a therapist or coach getting some new training. You can keep a visual journal all about that. Maybe you're going back to school. This is an example of some of the pages I kept when I went to business school and got an MBA after a while. I originally was trained as a therapist, but then this is a long story for another video. But I went to business school, a very unfamiliar territory for me. And so I had this whole visual journal that I kept inside of a book that was written in the 1960s on being a working girl in a man's world. And when I saw that book, I just thought, oh, this is going to be the perfect book to rewrite going to business school, which was very intimidating. And as I mentioned, you might want to keep a visual journal or a travel journal if you're going on a trip. And you can start that visual journal before you leave. What is my purpose for this journey? What do I want to get out of it? When we travel, it can be a real opportunity for growth and change. Things happen. In fact, travel is one of those metaphors I use a lot when I'm teaching visual journaling, because when we travel to a foreign country, we really feel vulnerable. It's just like facing a blank page. So you can keep a visual journal about a trip you're taking. I hope this gives you some ideas for topics. Let me know in the comments below what sort of topics you'd be interested to explore in a visual journal. The third T is transition. So besides finding a topic or compressing your time frame, you can also think about what is the particular transition that I'm going through in my life right now that would be interesting to document or that I want to explore privately. Beyond what I could do, maybe keeping a regular written journal, a visual journal can really help you collect the ephemera of that transition: receipts, documents, papers that you're gathering. Those are all wonderful pieces of collage material or ephemera that you could add to that visual journal. Examples of transitions could be when we have a change in relationship. You might be getting married, you might be getting divorced, or maybe you're suffering through a particularly bad breakup. I mean, are there any good breakups? I guess so, but that's a relationship transition. And so how you could put all these things together so that it's not overwhelming is to use all three of these: compress the time frame, think about this transition and the topic. How am I feeling about this now? What are the changes affecting me right now? Yes, this transition is indeed affecting our entire life, but we can narrow down the scope to how it's affecting us now and how we want to navigate the transition. And through the exploration that you'll do in your visual journal, it's a way for your inner wisdom to really bubble to the surface, especially if you're keeping those guidelines of keeping it private and portable, something you can just look at for yourself. You're not going to get bogged down with technique. Those parameters will help you really dive into the creative exploration that's available. And I don't really know how else to describe this other than it's just kind of magical what happens when we quiet ourselves. It's a little bit like meditating with art supplies or praying, getting quiet with your pen and your sketchbook or your crayon, whatever you're using to doodle and color and write. When we get quiet and do that, we start to know ourselves better. We start to know what we're feeling about things and what we're thinking, what actions we're doing or not doing. So your visual journal becomes this container for you to explore and make notes. I think of it like a guidebook to the soul. Remember, Carl Jung says the soul speaks in image. So that is exactly what we're doing. I have a bonus fourth T for you. This can go beautifully with visual journaling. We're taking a page from your favorite Jane Austen novel or British tea service, which I love so much, which is the word tea, T-E-A. Put the kettle on, brew something wonderful that you love, cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever it is, your beverage of choice, and cozy up with your visual journal and be surprised and delighted by what starts showing up on the page. Now, as you can probably tell, this is a very deep and wide subject on visual journaling and making art to help you find your purpose and your passion. But don't worry, there's more videos. I'm going to link at the end of this video to the one I recommend you watch next, and we'll also include links for you in the description. If you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell, then you'll be notified the next time I publish. I'll be creating a whole playlist on this topic.